And hello! Welcome everybody to another Making Things in MZ stream with me, Nick, Touch Fuzzy, whatever name you want to call me, I'll generally answer. So we're going to be making a map. And the reason we're going to be making a map is because there's a contest currently going on. It is ending tonight. You have until midnight Pacific. That is correct. We do everything on Pacific time, even though that's not my time zone. So if you're like me and live on the East Coast, you have until 3 a.m. So I wanted to make an entry, even though I can't win, obviously. But I just thought it'd be fun, especially to do something. I've really gotten to love this tile set, and I was like, I can do something in 16 by 16. Right now, I've just loaded up the sample version of this, which has it in the 48 by 48, has it blown up 3 times. And I'm going to decide which tile set I want to use for this map, and then I'm going to go resize the specific tile set I want to use. I'm really leaning towards town, because I kind of want to build a because see, this to me like has the vibe of a Final Fantasy town. I kind of want to build like a old school Dragon Quest style map town. And I love the old school Dragon Quest. So that's what I was probably going to do. Oh, before we start though, there are a couple other little things. So normally I take the last Thursday of every month off. The last Thursday of this month is the last day of this month. But we have something incredibly exciting to announce that day that I can't tell you about yet, but be excited. And so, since we have a big announcement that day, I am going to stream that night. Since I'm streaming that night, I am going to instead take next weekend off, so we won't have a Making Things in MZ stream on the 23rd. Okay. That was, I think, the last thing I needed to cover before I started getting involved on this. Yeah, I like this. It does have like a really, it reminds me a lot of Final Fantasy like 1, 2, 3 on the NES while not being like a ripoff. But the style is very much the same style, and it's so good. Like it has every graphical thing, because this is the, I'm just gonna run through this really quick. Because this is the it has it like, here's all your, let's go to enemies. Like, look at all this. So much stuff. It has enemies. It has, this is the sample game that comes with it. Look at all these heroes you have, and look at the faces. They're so good. This is such a really cool pack. I think it may be one of my favorites I've seen, because one of the things I like is the completeness of it. That you could make an entire game with just this set and some music and sound effects. Does MZ come with 16 by 16 tile sets? It does not. It does now have the option, of course, that I talked about last week of setting it to 16 by 16, but you have to like figure out what tile sets you're going to use to do that. I'm going to use these tile sets, which are native 16 by 16, but they're blown up 3 times nearest neighbor, and I'm going to undo that to get it to 16 by 16. So I think I am going to use the town ones. So what are the names of those pieces? So it's just outside, I think. Yeah, it's all the TL outside. So let's open up the game folder. I'll tell you, normally, well, I'm trying to find these. Normally, I know I've talked about this before, because all the outside ones. And where'd that folder go? I talk about how, like, I get ready really early, right? And then I'm, like, all, like, amped up, ready to go, and getting anxious just because I have to wait so long. This one is the... Okay, let me see the name of it. 8-bit. I actually know what I can do to tell you what the title of it is, because I can just First, let me open these. And it is 8-bit retro graphics material all in one. So that is the name of it right there. And it is just a fantastic pack, in my opinion. All right, now I've opened all of these and I can resize them. They are currently 48 by 48, but this pack is just blown up 3 times. So what we can do is go image size. Currently on my other screen. There you go. Nearest neighbor. And we need to cut this into a third. A third of 768 is 256. So 256. Size. Just make sure you're on nearest neighbor when you do this, because otherwise you're going to... It's going to be messy. And remember, you can only do this specifically because this pack was originally done at 16 by 16, then blown up by 3 times nearest neighbor. The other packs that I know that do that is the Time Fantasy packs, which I thought about using for this, but I really like this pack quite a lot. Just gotta make sure I don't go into one of these and one of them isn't. Like, see, that one's 384. If I typed 2856 up there, it would have really messed it up. All right, okay. Now, these are all correct. Let's just go exit and hit save on all of these. Yes, yeah. All right. Now, as you can see, these are really messed up. So let's go to our database. Go to System, 2, switch it to 16 by 16, apply. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to do a town. I will make a new tile set, and let's see. I figured how big I would have. Let's make it a specific size. So I want this to be. Let's do 640 by 360. Yeah, the player sprite has the strength to fit too, which this pack I can shrink them. I also need to go in any of the. If I use any events for images, I'll need to go in and edit those as well, and I'll need to edit the sprites. Well, if I use any sprites on the map, I don't know if I'm going to yet. So 640 divided by 16 is 40. 640 by 360 divided by 60. 22.5. So let's do 40 by 23 as our map size. And we're going to go inside. Okay. So this is going to be our whole map. It's going to be a 16 by 9 map that, oh Lord. What is going on up here? Why is... All right, I may need to... Okay, did I not change what outside? That's what it was. I was like, wow, that's wrong. That's not right. It's because I was supposed to be on outside, not inside. There we go. All right, so the next thing I have to decide, what kind of area do I want? I want to look around it. That is interesting. It is just like a font of some sort. I may also want to grab some pieces from some other tile sets. Since I am doing... So what I'm going to do, really quick, because I talked about this before, is one of the things I really like is... Tile set. When I'm working on maps like this, I often will take the tiles from inside BC and put them on outside DE. So let's open up my folder again. Image, sets, inside BC. Because this will probably have, because I talked about I was going to do a Dragon Quest style map, and if you have not seen old school Dragon Quest maps, they do interiors and exteriors on the same map. So I wanted to be able to do that. Probably gonna do some kind of like castle town. Open. That's what I need to do. I like when I completely forget what I'm doing. Photoshop opening on my other monitor again. I have the problem that the monitor I use when I'm streaming is actually not my normal primary monitor. But because my microphone is on this side, I use this when streaming, so I'm not leaning away from the mic. So everything that opens on a specific screen always opens on the opposite one, because that's what I normally am using for primary stuff. But at the same time, that means if I accidentally open something I don't need you guys to see, it will not show up on my main monitor. All right. Hold on just a second. Hello. Anyway. Sorry, I had to say something really quick. I don't think you guys heard that. Somebody opened up the stream on their computer in the same room with me. But I don't think it was loud enough. Okay, what was I doing? What was I okay, I have that, so we just need to save these. Well, my right monitor is usually for turning stuff on YouTube and watching, or when I have to access two files at the same time and copy things from one to the other. All right. These are both saved. Guys, we're going to actually get to making a map before long. It's going to take forever because I'm dumb today. All right, so let's get inside. Inside B and inside C. I always like putting those down here because then you have more useful tiles that you may need. Another thing that it means is I can actually remember the nice ability that we had for copying the pass abilities. So I can copy the pass ability from this and paste it here. And I can copy the page from, or that was C. Or I need to go to C. That's it. Copy page C and put it on the E. That lets me do all the pass abilities really fast. All right. So now I'm looking at, I think I'm going to go grass just because grass is relatively simple. Well, that's like, where's the standard grass? All right, that. Let me go the, all right. What tile is that? Oh, is it down here? Yeah, the standard grass is down here. And then, because you wouldn't really need auto tiles for that. That makes sense. That's another thing about having the sample map, like the sample maps like this. I can go open up one of the sample maps to find, woo, things look crazy on the ones I haven't adjusted the size. Yeah, paste stability. That, it is really... you spelled pasta, and now I'm hungry. Alright, let's use this as our base. Like I said, I wanted to do, like, a castle town. So what I'm going to do, I think, is build the entrance to the castle up here. Yeah, excuse me. So I'm going to look at the castle here because I want to see how they did it. What, like, in fact, I'm going to do this to start with. Just to get a, a base to work from, right? Ah, no, not Phil. I need the regular pen. So I like that. I'm thinking I'm gonna make the entrance a little bit bigger and stretch everything out. But hey, Blue Vegas, how you doing, man? Are you blue? Why are you sad? You're in Vegas. Is it because you lost a lot of money? Okay. I think I want to widen a lot of stuff, but I think this is a good base. But I also think I want to cut a little bit and cut it up like that so that the opening of the castle. Then let's get some. That's 4 spaces before that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Make this a little wider. Same over here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is off center a little bit, but that I also was going to do this, so that's fine. Okay, so kind of starting with what tile is that? Out of curiosity, I think it's this one right here. You can see kind of why they did that. I'm gonna get rid of it for the moment and redraw it in a little bit. So now I think I'm gonna put some water around this, like a moaty area. Let's see what is how is this done? I don't like that. Let's see how this. Look at different ones until I find one that I actually like. Let's go back to another one and see how they were using it. Ah, I see this. They had a drop off. That's probably a really good idea. I like how they did that now that I see how they were doing it. Oh, I see. That's the shadows. That's what that is. That's why it's drawn that way. Really neat. Again, always go back to your sample maps if you know what, I'm going to delete a whole bunch of these so I don't have to scroll to get. Yep. All right, now I don't have to scroll and I can go between town 1 and map 11. All right, so let's get a cliff face and we'll drop it off down there. So what cliff face were they using? It looks like they're just using individual pieces. It's not an auto tile. But that's fine because you don't really need an auto tile of it. Let's make a. Okay, it needs to be a little bit wide. It needs to be one wider than whatever we're working on. And then below it is the moat. And I'm going to have it go in. Actually, I'm going to draw the whole moat, and then I can do the. Ah, no, like that. I'm curious as to if this is going to look right. I may need to go like, then have. Ah, I'm missing. And then. I promise, I actually know what I'm doing. So who all has made a map for this contest already? Because surely all of you have entered. You know, help us continue to do more contests by participating in them. Yes, I know you haven't. He doesn't even go here. 2, 3. For anyone who is curious, that is actually just my wife who decided to come annoy me today. Who has never used RPG Maker in her life. You should all tell her how she should. Do you not have MZ, Wrath? You could just go somewhere else. You don't have to talk to me in chat. Okay, let's see. Do I want to go? I think I want to go out with the moat like this to give it a little bit more dimension. Maybe just go straight up with the cliff face over here like it's and I'll am I correct? Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so we got a castle. Now I'm going to build some buildings. And like I said, yeah, at least she's not using a competitor. All right, so I'm going to do, again, Dragon Quest style maps. So the way Dragon Quest did their maps for towns... Actually, let me see if I can... Let me look up Dragon Warrior 1 because... Let me do Dragon Warrior 4 because that's my favorite. Yep, good thing I opened this on my other screen because some of the things that are popping up are not safe. I have safe search on. I do not think they are safe. So I am going to just drag this one on here. So this is the way Dragon Quest, old school Dragon Quest, did their maps. And they did their interiors on the same map as their exteriors. They just had like walls. And so I was like, this is what I want to do for this map because I want to. This was when I was a kid. Dragon Quest 4, which was Dragon Warrior 4 in the U.S., was my favorite game by far. It was such a good game. I still like the DS remake of it. It's very old school, and some of it, my love of it is like a lot of nostalgia, but I still think it's a great game if you ever go back and play it. But this is the kind of style I was going to go for. So yeah, it is not safe for a stream. There was a character in Dragon Warrior Quest 4. Her name is, depending on which translation you're playing, it's Maya or not Maya. It's Mara. She's a dancer. And the there was some art of her in that search. Not what I would want to have pop up on my screen during a during one of these. During a stream for my work. That would be pretty bad. All right, so then I need some kind of floor. I'm gonna go like, let's see if I can find a. The one thing is because I don't have the interior. Oh, I mean, it's probably safe for YouTube, just not what I would want to have on an official RPG Maker stream. All right, so I'm running into. I could use a top. You're correct. But like I was like I don't have the interior tile sets. I may need to grab some of the interior like floors and stuff. I'm gonna do that in a minute. I'm just gonna keep working on making buildings. I'm not gonna worry about like too much about how they look right now. I'm just gonna make some stuff out of different walls. Let's make a wood one over here. A lot of other things about Dragon Quest buildings is they didn't have to make a whole lot of sense. So let's make. I don't know what kind of. Let's see. I know what I want this to be. Let's make it a shop. So let's get room for like a. Yep, I'm gonna definitely need to go steal from the A parts of the tile set. I need things like. All right, hold on. We're going to have to immediately go finish get like a lot of the tiles and start doing some. Nope, not gonna do it that way. I'm gonna do it through open folder because otherwise I have to go through all my stuff. All right. So we need the rest of the inside tiles from the tile set. So it was all the A's that I hadn't done, and I need to resize those, and then I need to stop. A lot of all games didn't make a lot of sense. That's true. Um, One time I started working on a game that had the tile sets for. Hold on a second. I am going to mute this so I can sneeze. And then I didn't have to sneeze after I muted. But I tried to make a game one time that used the old school style assets of like the mapping, but then like tried to map everything proportionally. Because I know you guys know that insides and outsides of buildings have no connection to each other in size. In almost even in a lot of modern games, they have no connection. But in old school games, it was especially wild. So I tried to map using it and then like make everything proportional. And I made like an interior map that used multiple different angles and all of it fit together. And it was really neat. And then it just looked terrible in engine because when you're actually playing it, to make things proportional required making something so large on the screen that it no longer looked good. So it was like you've succeeded, but it still looks bad because there's a reason they did the things they did. There's the reason they made things not make sense. There's a reason that modern games, a lot of things still don't make sense because realism, in and of itself, is not particularly a great goal. If that realism comes at the expense of something else. All right. So the water ones, I don't think I need anything from the water tiles. These interiors, I think I'm gonna need some stuff from this. I need like the flooring from this. The A5 flooring. Do I need anything from this one? This looks very similar to what I have. I think it's pretty close to the outside one. And I want some of this. So let's close A4. Let's pull in the outside A2 and outside A5 and find stuff I'm not going to use. Outside A2. Outside A5. Rocket. My dog decided he needed to come and say hi to all of y'all. All right, turn on my grid, which is not correct. So let me adjust my grid. Image, I see it's edit. Preferences. I think it's in. All right, so now we need to switch this to 16 pixels and 48 because I'm using a 16 thing. Turn on my grid. I always like to have my grids on while I'm doing this because it's a whole lot easier to copy paste stuff when you have a grid. Rocket is a good dog, but he's very old and dumb. Actually, he's not really dumb. Our other dog is very dumb. I think someone's typing to tell me, yep, that's what I was about to say. She's going to tell me he's not a good dog. He is. He is good at being a dog. That's about all he's good at. Okay. So, things I wanted from tile A2. I think most of what I need is just actually on this A5. So, I want... Let's see, what can I sacrifice from this? What do I not need? So I'm not using any of these bridges. And I don't need the snow bridges. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut what I don't need so I know where I'm putting stuff. Delete that out. Want to not do anything? Oh. That's not what I meant to do. Let me just use cut. Oh, that's because I don't have a... This has no transparency, so hold on. Layer from background. Now. There we go. Good dog does not make a good fish. That's true. Also, a good fish would not make a good dog, so... Alright, so I'm only using this one right here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out all the rest of them. Okay, so now I want... There's these floors, and also... Wait. There we go, the counters. I need those counters. Or at least one of them. I'm going to take this one down here. I think that's the simplest one. Which is an A2 thing. What do I not need? I'm not going to need this snow covered. I can delete that out. Let's grab this one right here. See, that's where I one of the need. And I need some flooring tiles from A2. Or no, from A5. It's really like this little section here. I'm just going to grab all of this. Even though I think it's copying some stuff I don't need. But it's easier to do it all at once. All right, let's go file save. Nope, let's merge visible, file save. Then merge visible, file save. You're not kidding, by the way. On the whole thing of it's amazing what they could do back then, and as always, you just flip off the map and flip back to it to refresh what's in here. I am consistently amazed at what they could do with really not nearly enough tools. It is like you said, it is just amazing. Those people back then, were so impressive. The artists were able to communicate so much with so little. A lot of people nowadays, like it is true that there is a lot of stuff now that is harder because like a lot of things are very complicated. But there's difficulty to both sides of it, right? It's difficult to make something that is so simple and still have it all read, you know? Because readability is the main issue. I'm gonna make this a in, so I'm gonna put some grab some wall stuff and put a little bed in there. I use this bed because I want to add some color. Yeah, it's like a lot of the things is that we have a lot of complicated stuff that we do nowadays, but at the same time, our methods to get to the same place are so much different. So much amazing stuff we can work with. Do I like that one more or do I like this one more? Yeah, I like this one more. So then we can go and we'll make some paths. It's one of those things that like it's man-made, so you can make a lot of right angles and stuff, and it will still look good. But I prefer to add a little bit of curving because like that's the kind of things people do. I think I'm gonna back. If I back it up one, it's gonna hit that spot. I didn't want it to be even with this other one, but I guess it makes sense for it to be. So let's. Nope. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they did what they probably uh planned maps on like grid paper or something like that. And then you know use that grid paper to denote what needed to go where. I just it's so complicated. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna open this up a little. What I'm gonna do? I wanna. I don't want to. I'm gonna because of where I placed everything. It's gonna have like a not a kind of off center look to it. It's not gonna center with this, but I'm gonna build like a kind of garden. We're gonna make it do like this, then come back together. All right. What next? What else do I need? So in here on the in, that's kind of a problem. I guess that's going to need to be too wide. But that's too wide. The too wide is too wide. I'm not going to be able to put anything on the table, which is fine. I just need to know I couldn't do it. So let's see. What other things? Ooh. What if I use down here? I don't know. I don't think this is what this is intended for. And I think I need to make this down one. And then I think it looks pretty good. Then we'll put some or some flowers, probably on B or C. Flowers, 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 flowers. There's some mushrooms. Here's some flowers. That's a wall. It was not what I thought it was. This is what I was looking for. Then let's add some. That's bushes. Let's add some bushes across the front of this shop. Is there like a fountain thing? There's like a statue. Is that there is a center to that? I wonder if I can like drop a statue. That looks good. This is going to be a pretty simplistic map. I don't think I'm going to do anything like super complicated, but at the same time, I just want like you don't have to take forever to make a map, right? I wanted to have something that in the to enter into the contest. I wanted to show you guys you could enter if you have, you have MV. Go ahead and just make something. I cannot line these up. Hey, Mr. Dova, how are you doing today? Are you having a good day? A bad day? An indifferent day? Is that correct? I believe that's correct. Yeah. My habit of just grabbing things off of other areas to put them together. Um, let's have like a. Let me grab a different type of. Yes, making something is the hardest part. Uh, but isn't that what you're doing here? I'm gonna have a little. This just reminds me of. It is something I know I have said a lot of times. Yeah, this contest is MZ only. Um. Oh yeah, MZ. I said MV. I am telling you lies unintentionally because my brain ain't working today. I have been working all day. Super secret thing going to be announced on the 30th. So I have been running around like mad. And I am sure all of you are going to be super excited when it gets announced. So I'm just going to tease you with the fact that there is an announcement coming. An announcement of an announcement. Which is always hilarious and very fun. Let's. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take the. Because one of the nice things about these kinds of things is I can. It is not MZ2 or MZ2. It is not MZ2 MZ harder. And by harder, I mean actually make a game. Because that would be harder for everyone here. Out of curiosity, who in our chat has actually finished making a game? I know, or at least released something. I know Wrath of Wood has, because it was played on our channel not long ago. I was not able to watch it, because again, I was super busy with the things I've been working on. But I know that you did release something. Okay, let's see. That's a good. I don't want to put it against the wall because that It is something that that I hate is tangents. As long as okay, so 1.44 to 1.5, I would go ahead and update if it doesn't break any of your plugins. But I would check, like, back up your files before you do it. Because and if you're not running into any issues, right? I don't think there's going to be a thing that's like, it was a lot of it was like fixing small minor bugs and then like a few major feature updates. If you don't need those feature updates and you have already you're pretty far into it, you may not want to update your at these a little bit to give it, because right now I think my problem is that I don't know. It's always complicated because whether you want to um, update or not, it's like you don't have to, but you could. I'm gonna also quickly flip back over to town one. I just want to make sure. So there's these edges. Where are these edges at? Oh, there they are. I thought I saw some like edges, and I was like, I want to put those in if I got them. So that actually needs to be the corner. It's very funny because I actually remember doing this exact thing on when I was making an old school set, which was not very good looking because my abilities to do art is not nearly as impressive as most people. But I had spent a lot of time on trying to get to do it, and I had just drawn little lines as an upper layer. And I'm glad to see someone else use the literal exact same method as me to accomplish the same thing. It's always that, like, validating, right? I need to go across here. Let's see, you have released, you said 5 full games? Yeah, well, do you really belong here with the rest of us? Just flaunting your ability to finish something? I see art is never done, so our games ever released. I think that art is eventually done. Um art is done when you are sick and tired of it. When you can no longer stand to look at it, it's done. It's either done or it's going in the garbage. One or the other. Okay. What else do we need? I don't know what I want to add. I got like 10 more minutes. I need more stuff to add. What do you think? What does this map need that it is missing? I think maybe it can have let's add a few, like some upper tier windows up there. I think I need more interior stuff, but I'm not sure, like, it's the size of these rooms, right? Let's put up. And because I'm doing the other problem is because I am doing the old school Dragon Quest style, my walls are only one tile high. I have so many. Oh, let's put some armor in here. It's unfortunate because that I was like, it would look good hanging on the wall, like a shield or something. But it's literally on the same. I was wondering if I could put them both on top of each other. It's so close to the same color as the wall, but I think it's fine. Let's see. What else do we have? Clearly, there needs to be a clay pot in the hotel room or the inn room for reasons we won't talk about. Okay, a tombstone, but where am I gonna put a tombstone? I guess I could put one. You know what I'm gonna do? Let's like pull this side out. Drop this down. Yeah, don't bury people next to your well. That's a terrible idea. Just having dead people seeping into your groundwater is not a good idea. Now, how am I gonna make? You don't really need a path over there. It's like that's such a cool. That would be a cool spot of interest if I actually work this into an actual game because you gotta wonder why is that person just over there buried next to the castle and why is it so secluded? Why is it not? Why isn't there a path that leads over there? Corpse water sounds like something what would have come out in the 90s as some extreme drink. Put a little bit more flowers around. Oh yes, the corpse to water ratio. We all have an acceptable corpse to water ratio. That was a really a good post in general, talking about how like we will swim in the ocean, which surely has corpses in it somewhere, but we would not swim in a pool that has corpses in it, a corpse in it. So there is some level of corpse to water that we will accept. All right. We have like a bench or something. Maybe in the outdoors. But oh, let's put a signpost there. That's good. You know what? I'm fairly happy with this. Is it the best map I've ever made? That's harsh. No, it's not. I've made better maps. I've made better maps on this stream but for just learning a tile set and trying to mimic a style that I really used to like, and I still do like it to some degree. I think it's a really nice way to do old school maps. You have a point. They don't judge you for having a little bit of a gut or anything. I'm gonna save this as image, save it in my map images, and I'm gonna go post this in the thread as soon as I am done with the stream, which I am going to go ahead and go into see. And again, no stream next week because On the 30th, which would have normally been my time off, we have huge announcement TM. So I'm super excited for what's coming. You should be super excited for what is coming. If you have MZ and you haven't made a map for this contest, go ahead and do it. You've got like, let's see, what time is it? It's 5 o'clock Pacific. That puts it at, you have like 6 or 7 more hours. You can make something in that amount of time. Here is the link to the contest. Join if you want to. Everyone have a great weekend. I will see you on the forums and on our social media. Have a good night, everybody.